going to tell you the truth, even when it hurts. And this is why I started this channel, because a lender who only tells you the good stuff isn't your advocate. Not everything in this business is rosy. Not everything in this business is awesome. Not everything in this business is fireworks going off and, magically every veteran on the planet gets to use their VA home loan, right? That is just not the way it goes. And anybody who tells you that is just trying to close a deal. Look, hey, I'm a positive guy too, but there's a real world scenarios when it comes to these things for all veterans across this country. And too many times what I have seen is lenders just blowing smoke up people's asses. So if you're new here, my name is Jason Stier and I have been a lender for 22 years and I have served exclusively military and veteran families all across the country. If you've been to the channel before, welcome back. Glad you come back. Clearly something resonated with you. The VA home loan is the best available mortgage product for veterans. Period. End of story. It is not perfect, just like we are not perfect. Okay, we get held to this standard that I think sometimes is a little crazy. But here's exactly what it can't do. Okay, what it can't do, not what it can, and how you should plan around it. One of the first things that I get asked is, can I use my VA loan to buy an investment property? And the answer is no, you cannot. Now, what some of these shithead gurus will tell you all across the internet is, oh, hey, buy 3 rental properties with your VA home loan in 12 months. It is a word salad of marketing that is disingenuous at best because it alludes to the fact that you can buy a home as an investment property. And that is not true. You have to occupy it as your primary residence. Now, if you're buying a quadplex, 4 total, quadplex, 4 total doors, you can live in one, rent out the other 3. That's probably the context they're meaning that in, but that's not the way they say it. And it's what I despise about this business and the world that we're in, because all it is a bunch of marketing bullshit through social media for people who have never, ever in the history of their life closed a VA loan on the lending side, period. Look, I'm a marketer too, y'all. I love marketing. I love branding. The VA boss was born out of branding. But the idea of what that is the truth. And too many people go through this business without telling the truth. This is what this channel is for. This is the truth. We're cutting through all the marketing bullshit and getting you the truth about the benefit that you earned. Now, I get asked about appraisal gaps when it comes to VA loans. A big thing, especially during COVID, was, well, I got to pay over appraised value to get this. The VA won't allow that. That is such a crock of crap. The VA will allow you to pay whatever you want. There is no restriction. They're only going to guarantee up to the appraised value. It's that simple. If you want to pay 20 grand over the appraised value, that's your deal. It's your money. You can do that. If the home appraises below what the asking price is, doesn't mean you can't pay over that. The VA is only going to guarantee that. But here's what is required. What is required is you to have a team, both lender and realtor, who understand these things, how to negotiate strategies for the best offense when it comes to getting you this home. Sometimes the house is just overpriced. You shouldn't pay more. That's the realtor's job to tell you that. Now, if you decide, I love this house, it's my forever home, I'm okay with it, their appraiser's crazy, hey, I'm good with that too. But when we don't tell the truth, we can't come to educated decisions. Okay? I get asked about VA condominiums. The condominium is not approved through the VA. Well, we can get it approved. Well, it has restrictions that FHA won't allow. We're not FHA. This is VA. There is actually a waiver process for condominiums that if there's something in the bylaws that VA typically doesn't like or care for, the veteran can present a waiver and ask it to be waived to get the condo approved on a spot basis. You can do that too. Condos all over the state of Florida can be done. So we can provide you with an approval list. We can work with the HOA on how to get one approved and what to avoid. Okay? Because just because you can submit a waiver doesn't mean you should, right? You don't want to leave your legal ass hanging out in the wind and doing that. Not a good thing. Okay? One of the other ones, manufactured homes and VA financing. It's not rocket science. The VA doesn't have restrictions on property type. Lenders do. That's a lender overlay. Some lenders have credit score restrictions on manufactured homes, and honestly, rightfully so. It's not the Wild Wild West. If a lender doesn't have those, good for them. Doesn't make the rest of them bad. It just means they don't. But the truth is out there that a lot of loan officers will tell you, oh, the VA doesn't do manufactured houses. That's a crock of shit. They do. It just maybe they don't. Look, one of the beautiful attributes of most veterans that I come across is they're very trusting of the people that are put in front of them as subject matter experts. And I love that. But even I get questioned. And I love being questioned when it comes to certain things about this process, because what it means to me is that veteran of that military family is doing their research and asking me about what they read. Now, I'm going to tell you right now that half of what you read on Google is BS, but at least they're doing their research. Okay. It's up to me to educate them. Okay. The occupancy rule. Give you a real world scenario that we got right now. We've got a veteran who just came back from an overseas contracting assignment to the Northwest, to the Panhandle of Florida, wanting to buy a duplex. Love that. But both of the sides of the duplex are occupied. Nothing in the current rental agreement says he can give them 30 days notice to boot them. Okay. It is up October 31st. But what the VA handbook says, if people would actually read chapter 3, is what it says is that a defined date we have written in a contract that October 31st is that drop dead date. He does not have to renew it. He can give them 30 days notice. They're out by October 31st, which will allow him to occupy. Now, that may be 90 plus days after we close, but that's okay. If people just read the VA handbook, it would set them free, but they don't. They judge on preconceived notions, right? There are all kinds of flexibilities when it comes to families PCSing and when those timeframes can be. The VA actually gives you up to a year if you have a defined time frame. Okay, so just read. It'll promise that it'll solve 99% of your problems. I have conversations with veterans all the time about when you might consider another loan type. Doesn't happen very often. We went over that in previous videos, so check that out. Maybe a conventional loan is better. Maybe they don't have a disability rating. Maybe they're putting 20% down. You know, maybe they're not going to be, this is a long-term investment or whatever all these are going to be. But that is very individualistic, like a thumbprint. It's not a blanket thing. And a lot of people use it as a blanket statement. Blanket statements are lazy, especially in the financial world. Okay. Your finances are like a thumbprint. Everybody's individual. Okay. My job is to teach you how to use this benefit, but also serve you and be honest about that. And we're going to have that conversation. Okay. That's about as complete picture as I can build in a video. The good and the limits. This benefit is powerful and it's worth understanding fully. Phase 3 of these videos starts next week, and we're shifting to real stories about real veterans that I've come across because I love storytelling. But I've been through this business a long time, y'all, 22 years of this. I have lots of stories that cover just about everything. And I love sharing those stories. Some of them good, some of them bad. Real clients, real deals that almost didn't happen because they were told something that didn't exist. Phantom guidelines, right? They were lender overlays. Okay. We want to maximize this benefit. So here's what I want you to do. Subscribe, click the little bell for the reminder so you don't miss it. Book a call with me if you'd like. We'll talk about these things. I will give you a no BS assessment of where you are, where you need to go, or if you're good to go, we're going to give you those answers too. But what's required is that we give you honest answers about what works for your specific situation. It is not your job to teach me about the benefit that you earned. It's that simple. See you next time.